Have you ever decided to watch an anime because you saw a post about it on Twitter, look at it on Mao and see that it has a high rating and think to yourself, well, it must be good? Well, that's what happened to me, and normally I'll put a show like that on my plan to watch and then never ever get to watching it. However, as Takopi's Original Sin is currently airing as the new summer 2025 season just dropped, I don't have to catch up like a bajillion episodes. What really made me want to give this show a chance was that the manga for this only has a 7.68 rating on Mao, but the anime, after only releasing one episode, currently has a rating of 8.81. Now, I know that Mao ratings on the end all be all for determining if a show is good or not, but this led me to believe that surely it is a good adaptation of the manga. Now, before I get into Takopi's Original Sin, I just want to mention that this show does contain sensitive themes such as depression as well as serious depictions of suicide, and that if you're not comfortable with these topics or aren't in the healthiest mindset right now, to please turn to someone for help and maybe watch this video in a different time. So, Takopi's Original Sin is by the studio Inishia, who are pretty unknown and have only released the Spice and Wolf remake as their other notable show. The show is scheduled for just 6 episodes as the manga has only 16 chapters to adapt, but the first episode was just under 40 minutes, though I'm unsure whether that will be the norm for the rest of the series or it's just for the one off the first episode. Now, actually getting into the episode, the plot is about an alien known as a Happian called who has left his planet to spread happiness across the universe. He meets a young god called Shizuka Kuze, who ends up naming him Takopi, as in taco for octopuses, which is what he looks like, and P because he ends all of his sentences with a weird noise. Kuze is a little 9-year-old girl who looks like all the happiness has been drained out of her, with nothing left to smile for in her life. Because of this, Takopi decides to do everything he can in order to help Kuze smile, as his job is to spread joy throughout the universe. And he tries to do this with a plethora of Doraemon-like gadgets, which all seem pretty otherworldly, but Takopi's efforts are to no avail. This is because Kuze is suffering from bullying in her school by her classmates, and is also missing both her parents for the large majority of her life. Her dad is seemingly nowhere to be found, whether that's because he's died, or has straight up left, I don't know, but her mum is never home due to her escorting job where she escorts people. There is one bit of joy in Kuze's life though, and that is her dog, Chappie. Damn, she's looking a bit too happy right about now. A bit too much happiness in this scene. Literally in the next scene. Oh god. This dog is dying, man. This dog's dead. Oh, he's so dead. What's with this happy, uplifting music? And she's smiling. This is something bad's gonna happen. Something's bad's gonna happen. I can feel it. Oh, something terrible is happening. Oh no! Oh, and the lead. Oh, the dog's dead. The dog's dead. The dog's dead. The dog's dead. These two meet up with each other every day after school, but one of these days, Kuze turns up all bruised and battered, in which Tokapi offers what he thinks is help with a string/rope-like gadget, which helps two people to make amends in order to become friends again, as he assumes Kuze just had a falling out with one of her classmates. I don't like how she's looking at this, Oh. 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 Okay. Normally unamused and dismissive of Tokapi's gadgets, Kuze, in an act of acceptance, decides to take up Tokapi's offer, but pleads to allow her to use it by herself without his supervision, which is a sin for all Happians. Which I guess you could call it Tokapi's Original Sin. Anyway, with how dark and disturbing this show is, you can imagine what happens next, but if you need to know, basically, Kuze does not use the rope-like gadget for its original purpose, and decides to end it all. Damn, they stamped on her ass, what the fuck? Oh, it was bye-bye, it wasn't see you later or see you tomorrow, it was bye-bye. Yep. I'm a film student. During the build-up for this reveal, the show does a really good job of making the viewer feel uneasy, as there are plenty of long, uncut shots where the camera is slowly zooming in order to build tension for the viewer. We can all assume what has happened before it is revealed, but these prolonged shots just make us feel helpless, as even though we know what has happened, we are helpless to do anything, as we are shown Kuze's lifeless body. Filled with guilt from the consequences of his actions, Tokapi vows to do everything in his power to keep Kuze alive and eventually bring a smile to her face. He somehow does this by whipping out one of his Doraemon gadgets, which allows him to somehow rewind time, and decides to follow her to school to sort things out with her classmates. What in the ReZero time looping? What follows is the standard bullying that occurs within fiction, where even though redundant, it is still effective in making me so mad, as these young kids are portrayed to be the most brattiest little pieces of shit possible. The main culprit in Kuze's suffering is her classmate Marina, who spends all her free time trying to make Kuze's life a living hell, whether that's small things like snarky remarks or literally kicking the shit out of her. Damn! Initially, Tokapi provides an answer to all the small short-term issues caused by Marina, but all this does is provocate Marina, leading her to reach her boiling point, where she calls out Kuze to beat her up, in where she reveals to the audience that her pent-up hatred towards Kuze is because of her mother, who has been escorting Marina's dad, and because of this, she has a poor relationship with her mother and father, as it also seems to be a messy situation. Now, from the moment the main bully was shown, I instantly knew that the show was going to give her a reason to bully Kuze, as all good shows with bullying tend to do. And I understand it's only episode 1, and we haven't really gotten the full story of Marina's family situation. But even with the scene near the end with her mum being full on crazy with her us against the world mindset, with her you're on my side bullshit, guilt tripping her own daughter, it does not justify her actions from this episode. And I get it, they're 9-year-olds and they're stupid and impressionable, but using a pen to literally stab a classmate in the eye is outrageous. The irony of her shirt, man. Bro, what did they just... This 6-year-old kid just no, we're not 6, but they just got stabbed in the eye. And we're back. What's that? What's that soundtrack? You know. Anyway, I skipped a few things, but after Marina stabbed who she thought was Kuze, but was actually Tokapi using one of his gadgets to disguise himself and impersonate Kuze, time reset to a previous day, which is used as a checkpoint on some ReZero type shit until Tokapi can somehow fix the whole situation and make Kuze happy. Now, that was just the first episode, and I for one am very excited for this series as I've not watched Punpun, but it's given the same vibes with the art style and the eerily creepy / overly positive music at times. It's like if you took the vibes of that and mixed it with the ReZero time looping. But yeah, I'm going to be anticipating these episodes when they come out, and it being a short series, I won't have that feeling of having to drag myself through the episodes like I do with some anime. But yeah, as for how first episodes go, I'm going to give this 8 out of 10, and like I said before, I'm very excited for how the show's going to go out. I just felt like making a random video after watching this episode. If you liked it, please like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, bye-bye.